Hello, welcome back, and I hope all is well with you guys. You had a great day. We are continuing our journey into cybersecurity basic, and the topic is we are still in the world of malware, and in section 2, part 0, which is specifically about spyware. This is the second episode about spyware. Ah, I forgot to mention that my English is not good, but I will try my best. If you have any difficulty to understand, you can put your question in writing either in the commenting area or contact me via send it to me directly via the contact link that is in the description of this video. Then as soon as possible I will put the answer in writing, and hopefully it will help you that way. So we are in the world of malware. We are continuing our journey there. And section 2, part 0, which is specifically about spyware. And this is episode 2. In this episode, hopefully, we are going to uh, have some basic understanding how spyware work. And I have tried to divide in the into the four categories the functionality of spyware. The goal is to make it easier to understand, and you can comment if this was helpful or not. Okay, the first category in to answer the how spyware work, I have divided into four categories. The first one is infiltration methods. In this category, we are going to mention some common ways that spyware the attacker use to deploy and install the spyware on your electronic devices. Hopefully, by understanding these methods and have some basic knowledge, uh, we can prevent and uh, increase our defenses. Not prevent, we can increase our defenses, because there is no 100% prevention method when it comes to digital devices, but we can increase it. The goal is always to make it harder, costlier, and painful as much as possible for the attacker in order to get because their goal is to get access to our digital life. Our goal is to make it costlier, painful, harder as much as possible for them. Okay, okay, that is enough there. In this category, which is infiltration methods that the attacker may use, there may be some other one that I don't have knowledge about and I don't understand either. If you have, you can put the answer in the commenting area. I will be very thankful for that, because here we are going to learn from each other and share our knowledge that we have. Okay, the first is using Trojan horses. This is also uh, type of malware, which we will come to it later when it is its term. Here, the goal, the attacker disguise, disguise, it is disguised as legitimate, legitimate software. It looks like legitimate software, it's function like a legitimate software, but they have bad intention behind it. Under the hood there is a spyware. that they're trying to sneak in and deploy on your device. The second infiltration method that the attacker may use is by using phishing email or messages to you. The goal here is basically deceptive deceptive emails that trick you into downloading downloading malware. This malware in our case is spyware, because spyware is a type of malware. Okay, you should be very careful, because when it comes to phishing, the attacker may impersonate your workplace. For example, they they sent an email in the name of IT department of the organization that you are working for, and they can impersonate law enforcement or banking system, or some they can also impersonate, which is very usual this day, the tech support, and so on and so forth. You should be very careful when you are receiving email. They can also impersonate your friends. If the email that you are receiving is a little bit suspicious, or not the usual behavior from your friends, before you download or click on some picture or links, contact them immediately. Maybe they have been the victim of the such attack themselves. Okay, so the third infiltration method that the attacker may use to in order to deploy the spyware on your digital device is so-called bundled software. Here, the attacker may use hidden within other application you download. The attacker sneaks in or hide the spyware inside the application or other program that you are downloading. The fourth is malicious website. Via the malicious website that you are visiting, should be very careful which site you are visiting and which links you are clicking on. Sites that exploit vulnerabilities. I cannot pronounce this word correctly. Vulnerabilities in your browser software. In your browser software. That's why you should always update your application, because the designer of that browser, for example, if they found some new bugs or weaknesses or vulnerabilities, I cannot pronounce this word correctly, they will patch that weakness immediately after they have discovered it. So if you have the latest, it is always a good idea to update the applications that you are using. So this was the first category when it comes to how the spyware work. The second category we are going to talk about component and their functionality. Here are some key components that spyware may have. If you know other component, you can put in a commenting area. I will be very thankful for that. So here we are going to learn from each other and share the knowledge that we have. So keylogger is also a type of malware in itself, but we are going to talk about it a little bit in detail when it is its turn. Okay, so the first component that a spyware may have or use is keylogger. The function of keylogger is to records every keystroke that you are making on your devices. Key strokes to capture sensitive information. For example, when you are typing your password or banking account, like that, this counts as sensitive information, and the keylogger has the ability to capture these. Okay, sensitive information, sensitive. And you may ask, how they know that I have typed in my password or banking account information? It will receive help from screen scraper. Okay, to capture sensitive information like password and and credit cards number, okay, or other financial record. Okay, and the other component that spyware may use is so-called screen scraper. Its functionality is to captures screenshots of user activities. This will providing that was not good. Okay, providing providing a visual record of what you see on your screen. It is very creepy, right? Okay, the third key component, you may ask, okay, after they have collected this information, what will they do? Then the third key component is data exfiltration. This is a mechanism in the malware, which is in our case spyware. So its functionality is to sense the collected data data to the attacker often through encrypted channels to avoid detection. So up until now, when it comes to how the spyware work, we have learned two categories. The first step is infiltration method, which we have mentioned 1, 2, and 3 method, and 4 infiltration method, right? Then the second category was about key component that each spyware may have or may use. There may be other component that I don't have knowledge of, or a whole new one that the attacker use, because the goal of the attacker is to avoid detection. So in the component we have mentioned 3 components. First of all, it was keylogger, then screen scraper, and data exfiltration. So we are going now to the third category, which is data collection. Here in this category we are going to mention methods or functionality, how they are collecting the data about you when they have infiltrated. Now we assume that they have infiltrated by some of those methods that we have mentioned before, and we have some basic understanding about key component. Now we are going to talk about the data collection process, how this is happening. First, we are going to talk about monitoring keystrokes. The the spyware itself has a functionality or capability to monitor every keystrokes that you are typing, be it on your phone, laptop, or tablet, or other devices that you are using. Here, basically, by doing this, they captures everything you type. Okay, then it is not not only they can do that, they do collecting data by tracking your browser activity, which site you are searching and which site you are visiting often. And by doing this, they can understand and collect information. For example, if you are which your workplace, and which bank you are using, and in which hospital do you are member of, and so on and so forth. Tracking browsing activity. Here they records your web history, your web history, and search, and everything that you have searched. Okay, so the third one here is stealing personal information. Basically, when they have access to a device, they can, it is the same as it is you on the device. They have the same level of access. They can see everything that you are doing. By doing so, they have the ability to gathers sensitive information, sensitive data, such as passwords and financial details. Again, which data is um, count as sensitive information? It depends first of all who the attacker is, because based on the category of the attacker that we have learned about, each of them has a specific objective, and based on their objective and motivation, the sensitiveness of data is different for them. Okay, so that was the third category, and the fourth one is obfuscation techniques. Now we have learned how they infiltrate and which key component it has or may use, and what were their functionality. We have also learned how the data collection process works. Then the other important functionality that it must has, and the goal is to avoid detection as long as possible. That is their goal. And again, here there are many obfuscation techniques or concealment techniques that they can use. We have mentioned around 11 common obfuscation techniques in the first section, last episode was it? Okay, so and here we are going to mention some of them, some of it that they may use or they may not use, not at all, but here are the common one. If you have any knowledge that I did not mention, here you can put you can put your knowledge in the commenting area, because here we are learning from each other. Okay, so the first obfuscation techniques for to avoid detection as long as possible, they are using encryption. And you may ask how it helps them. This helps them by encryption. They scrambles data to hides its content. So after they have collected data, obviously this data must be communicated or sent back to the attacker. So here the attacker is using encryption technique to encrypt the data. Even if this data is being intercepted, it is not readable for the security mechanism that have been put in place by the defense team. Okay, so the attacker using this obfuscation techniques to scramble data so that this data is not readable, and it is only readable for the attacker because the attacker can decrypt it. It has the decryption key. Okay, so the attacker may also use so-called polymorphism and metamorphism technique. We have talked about it, what these techniques are in the first section, last episode. So here we are going to just mention a little bit. The goal here is to alter alters the software software's code to evade uh, to evade detection, because most of the security or defense mechanism, like antivirus or like an other type of system, often, maybe not the modern one, but often they're using signature based analysis. And when they detect or suspect a program is a spyware, they create a signature for it. So the next time when the security measure detect that signature, and they're saying, okay, this is a spyware here that we are talking about. The attacker using the polymorphism and metamorphism to alter the software code. By doing so, even if the defense makers create a new signature, it does not match the previous one, and therefore they do not suspect that this is a spyware until they suspect and create a new signature and analysis and intercept just based on that signature. Then the spyware change its signature again. That is the race between them. Okay, the third one, they're using rootkits obfuscation technique. Rootkits in itself, it is a type of malware. We are going to talk about specifically when it is done, when it is its term. Okay, so here they conceal the presence of spyware on the system. They have access to the core of the system. By doing so, they can alter, for example, they can erase their existence by altering the uh, settings in the file system. They can erase the traces. By doing so, they can cancel the presence in the system. So I hope you have gained some knowledge of how spyware works. Next, coming up, after doing so, in the first episode we talk about what it is, and in the second episode we talk about how it works, and the third episode we are going to talk about how to defend against spyware. Okay, again, there is no 100% defend, but by deploying this measure you increase your defenses. That is our goal, right? If you have a high defense, then the attacker, it is costlier, harder and painful for the attacker to pass through your defenses compared to if you have low security. By deploying this method that we are going to mention in the next video, how to defend against spyware, we are going to increase our defense capability, which is always our goal. Okay, so if you have any question up until now, you can put your question in writing either in the commenting area or send it to me directly via the contact link that is in the description of this video. Otherwise, have a nice day. Bye.